Hello my lovely gamers, I'm Jonal, and today we are taking a little bit look at ult management and ult usage in Overwatch. And these are common mistakes that I see from lower ranked teams, from newer teams, for teams in general that just had not the coordination or doesn't have been training enough. And also what I see a lot in competitive happening, of course, both in lower and higher ranks. These are just like in general common exceptions, and this will probably help you improve your skill level no matter what rank you are in. As long as you know these basic, this will help you as in a team, this will help you in competitive if you just want that sweet SR. So with no further ado, let's just jump right into it. Now first is to understand that ultimates should, or at least a lot of time, are chained in pairs of two. That is something like Nano Boost Dragon Blade, right? Nano Boost Tactical Visor, in general Nano Boost with anything that deals damage over a longer period of time. Whole Hog Earth Shatter is another one that's really good. Why? Well, the Whole Hog will break the enemy Ryan Shield, the Earth Shatter knocks them down. Diva Bomb and Earth Shatter is also one. White Earth Shatter and Dragon Strike, Graviton, Pulse Bomb, Graviton, Dragon Strike. In general, there's a lot of these ultimates that are chained in pairs of two. And by this I would create the concept that ults that are chaining are called locked ultimates, and then there's something also called free ultimates. And locked ultimates, as I said, that's ultimate that are chained, ultimate that are locked, that you are not supposed to be used because there is another ult coming up for it. For example, if your Zarya is 80% to Graviton and you have Pulse Bomb, don't use your Pulse Bomb. Hold that ultimate, and as soon as your Graviton is ready, then you can rather combo it. However, if your Zarya has Graviton 20% and you have a Pulse Bomb, all of a sudden this is not a locked ultimate anymore. Now it's a free ultimate. A free ultimate is just an ultimate that you use as you see fit, as you think it will benefit your team to win a fight. And a lot of time, free ultimates are what we call support ultimates, right? Anything except Ana's ultimate in the support category are free ultimates. They're not chained, they're not reliant on anything, they're just used as they please or as they say fit, right? So Transcendence and Drop Beat, right? There's nothing that really, you can of course chain it on to use, the Dragon Blade will be used to Drop Beat to make sure that he doesn't die. But a lot of time it's not that it's reliable. You don't have to rely, Dragon Blade is not reliable on Drop Beat, and Drop Beat are not reliable on Dragon Blade. So all support ultimates are called free ultimates. Sometimes, or a lot of time, Reinhardt's Earth Shatter is also a free ultimate, really depending of course on your team composition and what ultimates are ready. So that's very important to understand, that even if you have a Zarya or you have an Ana, if there's no ultimate coming up, if Dragon Blade has been used and there's no other hero to chain your Nano Boost to, just giving it to Reinhardt is good, because this will be go into later, that's a common mistake not to. Waiting too long is bad, but if an ultimate is close, and this is why communication is so important in this game, you need to make sure if an ultimate is close to coming up, then you might just want to hold your ultimate for a little bit longer so you can make this very effective combo work. Now, as I said, ultimates are used in waves of two normally, unless there's a free ultimate, right? So Dragon Blade and Nano Boost, and there you go. You're not using anything else. You're not using Earth Shatter, you're not using Whole Hog, you're not using Tactical Visor or Graviton, because you already used these two ultimates and that should win you the fight. However, there are of course times where sometimes you have to commit, where a lot of ultimates is overtime, you can't lose this, you have no more tries to do, you just need to win this fight, you have no choice. That, and also when the enemy starts blowing ultimates, then you have to do something called counter-ulting. And an example for this is, for example, your Graviton, you use Dragon Blade, you use nothing else, that's two ultimates, right, and it's chained. However, all of a sudden the enemy team uses Drop Beat. Now you're not sure that, okay, I only got a couple of tanks in this, Dragon Blade probably won't kill anything. All of a sudden you might have to just instantly just use Nano Boost on Dragon Blade. Now you use three ultimates, but the Nano Boost was just to counter the Drop the Beat. Another one is that you use Dragon Blade and Nano Boost, and all of a sudden the enemy team Reinhardt turns around and he Earth Shatters your Genji. Now that ultimate is out of the picture, they used one ultimate, they might even use Tactical Visor as well, and then your Reinhardt can be like, okay, I'm gonna Earth Shatter as well. This way I'm using one more ultimate, we now stacking up the three ultimates. Maybe there also goes off one of your free ultimates, you lose your Drop the Beast because he heard the Tactical Visor. That's 4 ultimate off, but the enemy team also used 2 of those. One of those being a very important DPS ult, the Tactical Visor. And by that, you're not wasting any ultimates, you're just using your ultimates to counter the enemy's ultimates, right? And that's also a very important concept to understand, that you're not supposed to undercommit and you're not supposed to overcommit. So firing a wave of 2 chainable ultimate combo, and then you have to see what goes on. That's the reason that we have the concept of free ultimates, and that's the reason that they are used like that, because they're just supposed to be used as you see fit, right? And now there's some more common mistakes that is used now. This is just, that was just like the concept of how to use ultimate. A lot of time used in teams, And in higher level competitive, where you communicate a lot, like, do you have nano boost soon? Okay, I'm gonna hold my blade. Graviton soon. Okay, I'm gonna hold pulse bomb. But a lot of time, what I see the problem is that people are using their ultimates way too late. This goes for some ultimates more than it goes for others. But the point is that you want to use your ultimate before the enemy team can use anything else. You want to be highly aggressive with your ultimate, and that is the difference between a higher ranked team or a higher ranked player and a lower ranked player. A lot of times they just hold the ultimate for far too long, and they're trying to perfectionize their ultimates. I see this especially in lower ranks, and higher ranks it's also very common because they have this sensation that they need to get these huge ultimates, right? They need to be in this perfect position before they want to use anything. A lot of time giving the enemy team time to find a good spot to counter-react there. So they will, for example, you have Graviton, but Yasaria is using too much time looking for this like 4-man Graviton that's really nice, trying to get past the enemy line. And by that time, the enemy Yasaria just Gravitons your team. And then they pull Nano Blade. That's 3 ultimates. And then your team is of course saying, don't use any ultimate, we'll just die. And then we'll come back and attack. By that time, if this is a control point, they'll build another control point. They'll just build a lot of those percentage up. If this is a defensive or an offensive is offense, then the enemy team will just push a card or cap a point for free without you resisting it at all. But at that time, you shouldn't use an ultimate. If they Graviton you and Nano Blade and you don't have any kind of support ultimates to deal with that, burning ultimates is of course a lot of time just a waste, right? Because you'll just burn them away. But because you were so hesitant with using your ultimate, the enemy team just got to wipe you off the map, getting a lot of free charge and just draining your time banks out. A lot of time maybe even delaying your respawns, and that can be very, very devastating for you and your team. So what you want to do if you have something like Graviton, because it's Graviton, Earthshed that I see a lot of that going on with, because these are very strong ultimate that a lot of the time you want to get huge amount of players into. A Graviton doesn't need to get 4 players, hell, it doesn't even need to get 3. Getting 2 players in the beginning of your engagement that you're 100% sure that you can kill is an amazing advantage for you, especially on offense. So let's say that your Zarya Ace, you can get Soldier and you can get Ana. Getting those 2 kills means that you remove the main healer and what probably is their main DPS of the team. Also removing an incredible ult combination that might have gone off if the enemy had these ultimates. And that's an amazing advantage. It's a 4v6, they're losing 2 important players. If you can get the Roadhog and the Reinhardt, of course these 2 are very hard to kill. But if you're 100%, you know, we can get that kill, right? We have a Pharah with Barrage and we have a Zarya that can shield that. So I'm gonna Graviton with Barrage and we can get the Reinhardt and the Roadhog off that picture. That's an amazing advantage that you have now over the enemy team, because to remove their main tank and their shield, and you probably have a Reinhardt yourself or something similar, doing that there's nothing blocking your incoming damage. And on top of that, you removed one of the most irritating fuckers in the entire game. Because if the Roadhog is not focused and he is pretty decent, and the tanks are not paying too much attention to him, he can get like 2-3 pecks instantly because of his hook and his amazing damage output. So getting those 2 things in the beginning that you know that you can get is insanely important, and that's all you need to win a fight, especially if you are the one being the aggressor, right? Getting that 2-player Graviton on offense is amazing, and you should really start using ultimate a lot of time more aggressively. Just fire them off earlier in the engagement so the enemy team doesn't have a time to respond to it. The same of course go for Earth Shatter. If you can Earth Shatter just one guy, just one important guy, and then kill him, you can Earth Shatter the Soldier because he's overextending or out of position, or the Ana. If you can get that, of course doing that on the tank will be very hard to get that kill, but if you can get that on one of their important DPSs or something like that, then that's very, very nice and really important, and an important pick that can really help you guys get to that next level, cap the point, hold the defense or something similar. Like, it doesn't need to be an insanely like 5-man Earthshatter for it to be worth using Earthshatter. Of course you have to look the situation and you have to think like, what do they have ultimates, what do we have ultimate. So of course I'll take all of this like into consideration while in mid game. I'm not saying every time you see a soldier Earthshatter him, just in general using ultimates very more aggressively, getting 1, 2, maybe 3 picks with that's more than plenty for burning important ultimates off. And the other big mistake I see is that they are holding ults for too long. A lot of time chainable ultimates, holding nano boost for too long, because there's nothing that I can nano boost, right? We don't have any ultimates up ever, right? And then when we get Dragon Blade, I die, and then Genji puts a Dragon Blade because he's a retard or something like that, right? A lot of time these are issues that happen, right? Lucius are a lot of time too hesitant to drop the beat because they don't want to waste drop beat because it takes a long time to get it, and it's a very, very strong ultimate. So a lot of time they don't want to drop the beat, and then when they finally do it, you lose one, maybe two players of your team. And so holding ultimate because it has to be chained with something, or you need to get something greater out of it, is a lot of time also a mistake, because when you're like, okay, I need to chain this with something, then you get in the dilemma that you end up with 6 ultimates, and that is a lot of time it's kind of the same as using ultimates too late. The only difference here is that you're not really using them too late, you're just waiting for your team to help you do something, right? Holding Transcendence for too long because you're holding Transcendence for the enemy Graviton or for Dragon Blade. You don't want to use it besides that, and then you're starting to lose team fights because of it, right? So you don't wait for the enemy team to use ultimates. Use your ultimates whenever you see it fits, right? So it's kind of the same, but at the same time this is more about the fact that you're not using your ultimates to respond to everything or to chain that up with your team. If your team doesn't have any ultimate, just burn everything, just burn those ultimate that you have. And if the enemy responds with counter-ultimates, they start dropping the beat, they start popping Transcendence, the Nano Visor, then also start burning more ultimate, because commitment to ultimate are very important so that you don't lose those fights. Because if you burn Nano Blade, and let's just say they burn 3 ultimate to respond to that Nano Blade because it's a very big threat, they Earth Shadow and they Nano Visor or something like that, maybe they even drop beat, that's 4 ultimates. If you think that, oh okay, but we'll just burn nothing and then we'll come back with an advantage, ult advantages aren't always that great. It can be very, very great. However, you don't know how much ult charge the enemy team got in these situations. So thinking that you can just get back in it is a lot of time the wrong way. To understand that the fight is lost, if you start losing a lot of your players, the fight is lost, the fight is lost. However, committing with ultimates to make sure that you win the point, a lot of time it can be worth burning 5 ultimates if the enemy team burned 4. You used 1 more ultimate, but you won the fight, meaning that they actually wasted ultimate and you gained, right? Even though that you burned all the ultimate, you gained the point, and then you actually only used 1 ult in the ult economy system. Then you of course have to start weighing up like what ults they use, what they use. If it's that big of a number, a lot of time it doesn't really matter. So guys, I hope this clarifies a little bit. I hope this helps you guys out. I hope you liked the video. If there's any questions, then drop them down below. If there's something that you didn't understand, if there's something that you do want to discuss, if you have any opinions, drop them down below. If you have any video requests, then of course I'll take a look at that and try to get back to it as soon as I can, or at least hopefully I can answer you down in the comment section. I hope you enjoy the content. If you do, then subscribe. I'm gonna post more. If you like the video, then drop a like. If you dislike the video, then dislike. And as always guys, I'll see you in the next video. I'm Jonal, and keep the enemy in your crosshair.